Yes, maybe. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, there we go. Wow, it works. Mental. That's also why it's not working. I need to join here. Where am I? Commentary. Wow, there we go. That works now. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Right, let's get onto the track then. We have drivers on the track. I'm quite happy we do actually. Oh my god, that's a Haas lagging already. So that's late pitch. So, David Hoy's going to be the first to start a lap. Please let me know if you can hear me. I don't know if my mic's working. Anyways, David, into turn 1, 5th gear. Takes it very nicely, to be fair. Headed up through turn 2, which is not a corner, into turn 3, which is a corner. Braking just after the 100 metres. Down to 3rd, up to 4th on exit. Very nice, clean exit from David there. As he heads now down towards turn 4. Misses the apex a bit, but manages to carry a decent amount of minimum speed into turns 5 and 6 and whatever else. So that's 5. This is 6. 7. I don't know. I'm not going to start counting and trying to figure out what corner numbers are. Anyways, into the final 2 corners now. Using a lot of the curb to open up the entry. Runs wide and invalidates though, unfortunately, as Pierre Gasly is out on track doing some laps, according to the game. As Lapage goes fastest, 105.9, 106.5 for Varga, who crosses the line next with a valid lap. How's Pierre Gasly getting on? As Peter is changed back to Avila. We always find glitches here. Yeah. But yeah. To the final sector across the line. So loader on the invalidated. I didn't even see that happen. I can't lie. As Claudio is also invalidated. Halka is next. I'm in through the final corner now, and up to the line. It's going to be a 6.7 for the Williams, going just behind his teammate. Okay, who else have we got out on a lap? Obviously Varga with a 105.5 goes fastest. That's a good banker from the Alpine. As David does a 22.3, but that's not going to be a representative time. Who is messaging me? I don't even know. I'm going to go get my phone and check or anything. David's a second up in sector 1, and I'm being spammed on Discord by someone. Absolutely fantastic. That might be to say my mic's not working, to be fair. Stream also looks pretty laggy, which is always good, as Halka improves up to a 105.8 in second place. And David was invalidated. I need to go check. I'm gonna get my phone or something. Oh, back a lick. Manages to keep out the wall, although he has hit it with his rear tyre. So, yeah, just give me 2 seconds. I am back. Okay. Apologies for disappearing. Jordan Kent's gone purple in the middle sector. Let's see what the, I guess we just have reserve in the Alfa Romeo can do. Into the final sector, keeps it nicely within track limits, up to line. 5.6 goes P2. So yeah. There we go. Decent lap. What about Ivanek in the Aston? Also has gone purple. 45.7 middle sector. I'm going to use that as a reference point from now on. Through the final corner and keeps it well within track limits. Up to the line, and that's P4. So David did a 105.9. I didn't see that, but I have seen it now. Bakalik's like 10 seconds up. Keeping it in 6th gear and keeping it in track limits as well, which is always important. Not quite as impressive as when he used neutral for a whole lap last week and managed to get it like P3 or something, but he has invalidated there, so maybe he'll try again with neutral, you never know. Enough of me making silly jokes about the game being stupid. Loibanov, last week's race winner, did a stellar job on the hard tyres, was it? I think he did like, I want to say, or it was around 30 laps. I want to say 31. I'm not sure. I think it was from lap 5, the safety car. So yeah, it was very good effort from him. I'm not sure how he's going to be able to do this week. It says purple middle sector. We know it's not based off of Ivanek's 45.7. As that was a 45.9, but this should put him about that 105.9, 106 mark. He has run a bit wide in the final corner though, and that's going to cost him some time. 106.1, that's P10. At least he's got a time on the board though. As the other Ferrari of Snake is now on a lap, heading into turn 4. Gets the apex quite nicely, but does drop quite a lot of minimum speed. Heading into through that final few corners in the middle sector. Runs white, gets away with it though. 45.8. So this again is going to put him about that 106. That's not going to help. He's just about to get that on the track as Clapper going for back-to-back pole positions. Goes to a 105.3 and ooh, that's a spin for Mitch. As he might just take this to the line just to guarantee himself to not be 17. As he has also got ahead of Bakalik for now, who will probably be going again. How's Kopodolovsky doing in the Red Bull? I didn't see the first sector split, I don't think it showed up. 10th down at the moment. And I think he's still pushing, he's still got the battery on. Ooh, that's not going to help though, and that's a spin. Vila has backed off. Varga's improving by half a tenth. Can he find more time in the final sector though? And runs a bit white there and invalidates. Lapage, also an Ella in the Haas. And keeping it really on the edge of track limits there. As Varga has retired from the session. Lapage jumps up to P2. I didn't get the message pop up for Varga retiring. Thanks, game. Halka. Half a tenth up in the first sector. Good start for him. Let's see if he can find even more time in this middle sector. Runs a bit deep into turn 4 though, manages to get an alright exit though. And we continue onwards. Using a lot of the inside curve there. Carl looks a bit unsettled, but that's half a second famed for the Williams driver. He's got a Mercedes moving off the racing line, and this could be a time challenging for pole so far. As it's decent through the penultimate corner and through the final corner, makes a lot of the inside curb. Is it going to be enough for provisional pole? It is, with a 105.2. The times are very close here. There's someone within almost every part of the 10th, apart from a 105.7, all the way down at the moment. Shorter Kent's improving as well in the Alfa Romeo. And gets in very nicely through the penultimate corner and through the final corner, still decent as well. As up to the line, can he take provisional pole? He can. I've also seen David jump up to P4. As Ivanek jumps up to P6. I don't know which one the Hasses is leading. All I know is one of them's got 64 and the other one's got 62 points. And I believe Ivanek's third with 43, I want to say. Off the top of my head, but I'm not sure. Claudio Herbert's improving at the moment by over a tenth. Should get himself into the 105s. Now up to the line. 105.5, he found a lot of time in the final sector actually. And overall a good improvement. Raphael is on a lap in the McLaren. And ooh, that's gonna end that lap. Belak has no battery. Bakalic's jumped up to P4 at some point. I haven't seen that. And so everyone's probably going to have another one more run here. And it'll be interesting to see. He's going to come out on top. It's very close so far. But with one more last dash around the track for everyone. Sure, there's going to be a bit of a shake-up in the standings. The top 9 all within about 3 tenths, which is ridiculous. And that shows that I think almost anyone could win this race in that top section. I don't think there's going to be a standout driver in this race, which we have seen so far. We have seen drivers sort of run away as well. Bit of a snap there for Loibinov. Manages to keep the car fairly under control though. He just got a bit hasty on the throttle. Has he got horns on his helmet? I can't even tell. I don't know what the helmet is, but yeah. He's half a tenth down in the middle sector. Can he find some time in the final sector though is the question. To try and elevate him up the pecking order. As into the penultimate corner, using a lot of the inside curve. David Hoy's done a 105.1 in the hash. And that puts him provisional pole as Loibinov does improve. His teammates also currently improving by a tenth and a half. So that's a nice middle sector by Mitch. It's going to put him in that group of cars at the moment if he can just get it right into the line. Very good penultimate corner. Final corner is decent too. As up to line 4 Mitch, it's going to be P10, gets into the 105s. And that might look quicker than where it ended up being. Maybe the final sector wasn't as good as I perceived it to be. Maybe dropped a bit too much speed in the final corner. I say Loibinov was improving, yeah, he's 3 tenths up, despite not having any battery. If I were him, I'd go back to the pit lane, get a fresh set of softs right now. I think he's going to be after that. Is he going to stay in the session? Just about. That was almost the end for him, unfortunately. But he managed to just about keep it out of... Well, just about managed to make the impact with the ball. Not session ending for him, as Tiravila is improving by half a tenth and is now not improving by half a tenth but instead the other way. He's losing game by half a tenth, shall we say. And through the final sector, down to 5th. Ooh. bit too aggressive on the throttle. I feel like we're going to see a lot of cars leaving the garage soon, as Kopolowski is already on a run in the Red Bull. Probably his final run of the session, as always gone deep into turn 3. That'll be an abandon, I'm sure. Someone's retired and he's living off. Maybe he doesn't think he has enough time to get in and out. Halka's improving by a 10th in Sector 1. As let's see how much he can improve overall by the end of the lap. It's looking decent so far, but I don't know, with already a 105.2 is decent good enough. And it's only a minor improvement so far. He's going to need to absolutely ace the final sector to see enough of an improvement to get him up into P2, or even to challenge for pole. But he's not got the best of lines there through the final 2 corners. I don't think it is going to be an improvement, no. And well, he's not got enough time to get rained again, so that's the end of his session. Maybe just preparing a run, so is Herbert and Kent. Everyone's pretty much setting up their final run there. Who have we got who will actually be going to the line? Anyone? Let's just go out 2 lanes. So I'll go on board with Jordan Kent then. Let's see, can he dethrone David for now is the question. As first sector is an improvement for the Alfa Romeo driver, using plenty of the curb, opening up the corner and getting a good exit there, as the checkered flag has been drawn, with Ken and many of us still on a lap. As let's see if Ken can go to the top. He's a 10.5 up so far, as he's got just the final sector to go. He just needs to keep it clean through the final 2 corners, and this could be provisional pole for the Alfa Romeo. David is still out there on a lap though in the Haas, and could still improve further, but I think Kent's done enough to take provisional pole. It's a 105.0 here, as David's improving by 2 tenths in the Haas. All he needs to do is keep this one clean to the line, and he misses out. He lost a lot of time in the final sector. His teammate jumps up to P4. Clapper's not improving. He seems to have had a spin. And that is going to be the end of this session. Jordan Kent taking pole by around a 10th over David Hoyt. As the 2 Hasses will be split by Halka Marlin, with then an all Aston Martin 3rd row. Arvi Vanek and Clapper. Bakalik in 7th. Herbert 8th. Varga 9th, Turbula 10th, Kompotolovsky 11th, Snape 12th, Belak 13th, Lobanov 14th, Rafael Faraz 15th, Rasmussen 16th, and rounding off the grid is Oscar Eberson, who was serving a qualifying ban. So that is your order for today's race. I'm sure it's going to be an interesting one. Well, we'll just have to wait and find out. Austria does have a lot of DRS zones, meaning that, yeah, I mean, people can fairly stick fairly well in a train with each other, which means there should be a good fight amongst the drivers here, as ooh, it's looking very cloudy, which is what you like to see. A bit of rain would spice up this race in the right way, I feel. Create a whole new dynamic, although I'm not sure if we're going to see that, as there's some glitch in the pit. This is already our second glitch of the race. There's just like drivers in helmets and whatever, standing inside each other, doing some sort of weird pose. I'm not sure what's going on. I can't even remember what glitch happened in qualifying. Oh yeah, we had Pierre Gasly randomly, even though it was to Avila, but yeah. I know we've got this. Anyways, we are going to the grid now. As the 5 lights are coming on ahead of this race in Austria. And the lights are 8 and away as there's a drive-through for multiple people. And that's not an ideal start. That's Clapper, Herbert and Bakalik. It is probably a bit of a reaction from people as Wanda Williams is running wide off the track there. And oh my, there's a bit of chaos already, shall we say, as people are not being very careful. But Clapper's going to lead, although he's going to be straight into the pit lane in about a lap or two. As everyone heading up through turn 3. There's a Williams rain there. I'm not sure who that was. I think that was Belak. And that's going to send him down towards the back of the order. As the Haas driver of Adam Lepage has moved himself provisionally up into a podium place. Nate, ahead of Herbert and Hauke Marlin. As this gets the telemetry on these yellow flags. That seems to be Varga in the Alpine, as Herbert's going straight into the pit lane. Same with Clapper. As that means Jordan Kent is going to lead the way, as he was after qualifying. And the front 2 remain the same. Lepage managing to get ahead of Hauke, who's having to use a bit of the battery to make sure that the cars in front don't get too far off up the road before DRS is activated. As Snape here on the soft tyres, challenging the only hard tyre runner other than Varga and Loibinov off the start. And he's gone for the aggressive strategy here, as he's going to try and make that move on the Aston Martin of Ivanek, and he has managed to get that one done. 4 P5 in this race so far, as I don't think Ivanek wants to fight against soft tyres. No, he's choosing to back out of that one. Maybe he's just going to hope that Snape can sort of propel them forward, maybe even Hauke or let him through to let Snape have a quick attack at the front 3. Why is my AI such? I don't know why your AI is driving. Not a clue. I crashed at the start and now we have an AI in the race. I have not a clue what's going on. Maybe try reconnect, see if it lets you take over. I don't know. As Belak is right on the back of Kopytolowski, as DRS will now be enabled. Obviously, that happens very quickly here. And I'm sure Belak's going to be looking on the attack against the Red Bull driver. As he's going to potentially try and see the Red Bull going deep, not quite, but he's got a good exit there. And that's going to allow him to get alongside the Red Bull driver coming down towards turn 4, and that's going to be the move done for Belak in this race. As there we go. Oh, there's a bit of a tap there from the Red Bull behind, I think. That's not always what you want to see. But no harm done, I don't think. Which is, yeah, ideal. As there's a spin from Hauke in the Williams is going to drop outside of the points here, I think. Not quite P10, as the front 3 is streaking away. Mitch up to 4th on the softs, and then Ivanek on hards behind him. Which is a very interesting dynamic, as Ivanek choosing to play it smart, doesn't want to send it in an unorthodox position on the track. As David right on the back. Jordan here. As we see another move happening with Kopytolowski getting back past the Williams of Belak, who's gone deep onto the sausage curb. That's going to unsettle the car, as someone else who's had the car unsettles to Avila as he's around as well. But while this is happening, we've got wheel-to-wheel fighting for the lead of this race, as I think David Hoy's going to come out ahead of Jordan Kent here. And the answer to that one would be yes, as Lepage is just starting to lose touch with these two at the moment. Oh, that's a spin, and that's Lepage into the wall, and that is not ideal. considering where he is in the standings, as that's a 5-second penalty for Claudio Herbert for ignoring yellow flags. As I have no clue what's going on, really, but the front four in their little 2 separate pairs are sort of just moving away from everyone else, as Jordan Kent's also going to try and move past David Hoy here for the lead of the race. As Jordan's going to try and make a move down the inside into turn 4, as we get terrible camera angles from the game, so we'll stay on board. And David just gets the better exit there, and he's just going to pull in front just to keep that position. Although he didn't actually return to the racing line there. Maybe he thought that Jordan was still alongside him. Just being cautious, which is fair enough. It's not really going to lose the position from taking a slightly compromised line there, unless Jordan got the corner of his life. As I think Hadio's got, yeah, that was the 5-second penalty. I feel like time penalties may be accrued to a high quantity by a lot of the drivers today, as we see a fight between the Alpines. Varga moving past as David Hoy's reigned at turn 1, and that's going to drop him down the order. We now have Jordan Kent leading the way with Snape in second, who are just keeping Ivanek comfortably within that DRS range. Well, not at a range where he can attack, as Belak trying to move on Kopytlovsky. That's... oh no. That's just not ideal, is it? There's a lot going on. There's more yellow flags. This time's Clapper's reigned as well, I think. And actually carnage further down the field. The front runners are struggling as well. I think people's tyre temps may be a bit high. Having a look at Mitch on softs is completely fine, interestingly. Jordan is cruising at the moment. Yeah, Mitch is starting to get 100 on the rears, but then sort of just slightly normal for the softs, you would say. David's mid-90s, so I think maybe just a mistake by himself causing the spin. As Halka is going on the charge here against Raphael for P6 in this race. And that is going to be moved on for the Williams driver. As Raphael is going to try and immediately fight this one back though. As Halka using all of his battery to try and defend it. He's going to brake later into the corner as well. As Raphael going for a bit of a switch back, but it's not really worked. And Halka's also going to have the DRS, although Raphael does get a better exit. And he's going to be using the battery to try get alongside the Williams, but it's not going to happen before the corner for him though. As Jordan Kent leads the way here by 3.5 seconds over Mitch currently in the Ferrari, with Ivanek still just, I think, happy to sit behind the Ferrari. He's not really losing out on anything by being behind Mitch right now. As Bakalik picks up the first track limit penalty of the day. Is it this one? No. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah. I think Ivanek using a bit of battery to get closer. Is he going to send it on the Ferrari driver here? I think he is going to go for the overtake actually. Mitch brakes later, leaves him the space. And also gets a really nice exit as well. Is Ivanek going to send one? No, he's not. I don't think Ivanek wants to cost himself too much time to the lead. This is Raphael going for a move on both the Williams here. Now this bit of a frenzy's going to come out, as Raphael looks to be coming out on top at the moment, and he's going to be ahead of both Williams drivers. Halka's going to send it in the gap on his teammate there and take P6. And that's Belak losing 2 places there in the space of, well, not very long. Oh, that was interesting. As Halka down the inside, almost loses the car. And out the final corner, it's getting a bit close between these drivers here, shall we say. Surely he's not going to try on the outside. Oh, I think he's received a bit of a tap from his teammate. As David Hoy's going for it, and he's ended up almost off the track, but not quite. As what's going to happen here? Hauke down the inside, and that is Hauke ahead. Full P5 in this race at the moment. There's Raphael, not quite close enough. Oh my, that's a send from Belak, and he's hit Raphael pretty much off the road as well. They're still locked together. I'm sure there's going to be a few choice words about that one. That was a criminals, and he even got a corner cutting penalty for cutting the inside of turn 4, which I didn't even think was possible, I can't lie. As Varga trying to just size up a potential move soon as Belak runs off the track. Raphael also runs off the track just in front as Belak currently chasing after Raphael. Ivanek moves past Snape for second place. As David's had another spin at some point, I think. However, he maintains P4. So, I mean, he wins some. What is that? Why is Sir Williams cutting turn 3 now? I don't even know. Belak's heard that points are being given out for how many cars you can drive into this race or something, which I can confirm is not true. The only sort of points you'll accumulate for driving into others is penalty points. As he's off the track again there, that's probably another warning. As there's yellow flags, that is Bakalik, who was just behind these. That's going to promote Clapper back into the points after not really a race, a bit of a race to forget for the Aston. At least he's going to be picking something up. We've still got 17 drivers in the race. Interestingly, no one has retired yet. Will anyone go for a move is the question. But potentially he's not really got much battery. And I think he's just tapped Raphael a bit there. Everyone getting a bit aggressive, shall we say, here in Austria. Some dirty tactics being played by some drivers, shall we say, so far. I'm sure that will be reported and then can be penalised as Hauke is the wrong way off the exit of turn 5 or 6, I don't know, one of the two. But yeah, that's not ideal, as Mitch is into the pit lane to box away those soft tyres, probably for hards to the end, and it is going to be the hard tyres for the Ferrari driver. And he's just going to be going as long as he can to the end there. And with this fight, the fighting going on elsewhere, it's going to be fine for us. Look at this camera angle. Lovely helicopter view. As Varga is ahead of Belak. Belak's going to try and fight it back against Varga though. As we sweep up towards turn 3, up the hill, onto the braking. And the Alpines on the curb, on the sausage curb a bit, as we rejoin with Raphael on the grass. As we're back to terrible camera angles as well. As Mitch Snape has come out in some traffic here, which I don't think he's going to be too happy about. But I mean, I don't think these guys are really going to trouble him all that much. He is going to get DRS as well. Good race so far from Mitch. Managed to avoid the carnage, as he's going to have to avoid more carnage there. With a spinning Hauke as Belak is into the pit lane in the Williams. There's a backlick on the back of Mitch here as, oh, there's contact again in this race, and Mitch is going to get the battery on. He's going to go for this. He just wants to get past these battling cars at the moment. He's going to be on the inside into turn 3. As he's just going to close off the attack that Raphael could have launched back on him. That's going to invite Bakalik as well to go for the move down the inside. He's going to brake later. And being brave on the brakes, goes a bit deep into the corner, and that's going to load Raphael back alongside and back ahead as well of the Alfa Romeo driver. And I don't think this is really what Mitch was expecting coming out of the pit lane. An absolute frenzy of a bunch of drivers. I think he'll be hoping that they head into the pit lane. Bakalik down the inside into the penultimate corner. That's one place to send it. Not really a place I'd recommend sending it, but nevertheless he has done so. As Lepage had another spin. I think he's had many of those now. Haven't really spoken to him this race. He's not having a good time. David's had a few of those as well, but still maintains P3 for there. And Mitch gets off the throttle early, just being conservative, watching his own race, and he is now just going to go for the move on Clapper. He should have used a bit more of the battery though, I think. As Clapper's going to break down his inside, although I don't understand. Clapper, if anything, does not need to defend this at all, and it's just compromising both of their races. Mitch is not in the same race as him right now. If anything, Mitch is in the fight for a podium, and this is just ruining it for him, to be fair. As it is quite difficult to get through the traffic, and they both went off track, so they've probably both got a warning. Although the game's pretty bad at giving warnings, so I'm surprised if neither of them got one, to be fair. As I'm sure Mitch is going to be on the attack again. I think he'll this time learn from his mistake of not being aggressive on the battery, and this time he'll just be absolutely dumping it to get past. This is a spinner. I've got Fidelovsky. Mitch not very close this time around. Not really much happening. Jordan Kemp hits at the front. David, are you going to respond to that or jump in as well? No. What about Claudio? He's not going to pit, I don't think, unless he's going to launch it in last second, which he's not. What about Clapper? Clapper is going to go into the pit lane. It's going to finally release Mitch. Well, that's what he'll be thinking. Anyways, he'll be thinking, finally I'm able to just get some clean air as didn't even see Halka retired. I think in the pit lane. Ooh, Mitch has caught that well. That is important for him. Well, he's got 7 seconds up to Varga, who's ahead at the moment. He has got 2 lap cars in the way as well, of Lepage and Rasmussen. Jordan Kent's also under pressure from Herbert as soon as he's left the pit lane, which isn't what he would have wanted. But I don't think he really had much of a choice. Herbert using all of the battery already. Tell you something, these guys are very aggressive against people they're not even fighting against. It's like they don't know that they potentially have ruined their own race in the process. But I don't think Herbert's going to get close enough to Kent on this occasion. Unless they're playing a team game, which, well, Herbert doesn't have a teammate, so I mean, it's not close enough to fight or compromise his race at least. Raphael's in the McLaren. That's going to drop him to 9th, or yeah, it'll be 9th. Bellac's not going to get him before the pit exit. And once again, I'm commentating an Austria race, which doesn't really have much happening. Austria's actually very overrated, in my opinion. Races end up like this so often. It's just people spinning, not much action on track, and you know, just a bit of a boring racetrack. We need a safety car in this race, I'll tell you that. It's also gone to absolute clear as day, so rain won't be happening in this one. As Mitch could come ahead of David here. It's going to be close between the two of them. And he is going to be ahead of the Haas driver in the race. And that is P4, provisionally a podium once other drivers have pitted. As Herbert rejoins the race next to Loibinov in the Ferrari. The Ferrari is having a bit more of a struggle this time, mate, shall we say. Compared to the last races, he's ghosted from that, which is interesting. If you would like to get involved with the driving, there's the link to the Discord in the description, where you can sign up to go and race with us. And yeah, there's once you verify yourself in the Discord, you'll have access to a channel called Sign-Ups. Where you can complete the sign-up form, and then you'll be placed in a tier which is appropriate for your pace. Yeah. Mitch is going to be lapping the ghost car I've ever seen. Yeah. As he's also got David Hoyt charging after him. This fight obviously for the podium currently. As let's see how much Mitch is going to defend this one. Obviously on the older tyres, Mitch is going to compromise him in this fight a bit, but David just backing off, doesn't want to send anything that's going to completely wipe out the Ferrari. Okay, we'll move into the penultimate corner, which I would never recommend making a move there. We have got some action here though. Two Avila getting past Kopodolowski, and there's a bit of a train from 9th downwards at the moment, which is nice to see. As speaking of action, David Hoy is going to get ahead of Mitch Nape in the Ferrari. As Mitch needs to use a bit more of that battery, I think. He's got 98%. Get using, mate. That's all I'm saying. Is Kopodolowski trying an opportunistic move there, shall we say? As these drivers are all being caught by Loibinov in the Ferrari. As Kopodolowski is going to be ahead. I think Belak's on AI at the moment. I'm not sure, but his car seems to be using an excessive amount of battery for no reason, and is lifting off way before the braking point. So yeah, that's definitely an AI car. Mitch has lost the DRS to David now, with 15 laps of this race to go. And he's got an 11-second gap behind to Claudio, who is on fresher tyres. We'll have to see how that gap changes towards the end of the race. As all clappers hit the sausage curb there on the exit and picked up a penalty in the process. And I want to make a prediction that that one might be appealed on the line. Feels like something that would happen. Not really sure, but Ivanic's going to come into the pit lane now. He was in the lead of the race. He's got to come out. Will he come out second? Varga's also going in. I think he might come out second, if not he'll come out behind David, but I think he should be ahead. Yeah, he's going to be ahead. That's worked out very nicely for him. As Varga also picks up a knee front wing in the process, which is always helpful. And that means Ivanic's got 12 seconds to charge after Jordan Kent on fresh mediums compared to Kent's 6-lap-old hards. So, I mean, I don't fancy his chances that much, but I mean, he might be able to get it down to about 6 seconds at a push. 14 laps, save he gains half a second while the tyres are running at optimal condition. Then that's going to make it so he can close the gap in a bit, but yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem feasible for him to gain a second a lap and then have 2 laps to overtake. The tyres won't hold up that sort of pace for long enough. And, well, I guess we'll find out. There's pretty much no one within DRS range at the moment. There is a yellow flag, that is Lapage moving out of the way. In the halves. It is currently 14th, despite being a lap day in. Shows you really how separated this grid is at the moment. And this is lap cars absolutely everywhere, pretty much. And Ivanek, he's actually catching quite a lot, to be fair, on this lap. That's 7/10 so far, which is interesting. David has also closed the gap into Ivanek, and is also on a charge himself, as Ivanek doesn't have too much battery. Just 35%. David's got a lot more, but he has got to close that gap, and Ivanek's on the brand new mediums, which are going to be absolutely lovely right now, I'm sure. As Clapper lets Varga through. I think Clapper just doesn't want to compromise his own race, and knows Varga is going to be laying down some serious pace at the moment. So just going to close the gap this lap. It's staying to 11 seconds after a lap and a half. It's not enough, unfortunately, for him. As Clapper gives a little bit of a tap to Varga and then almost loses it on the exit of the corner twice. Interesting. Oh, David's into the wall. That's him out of the race. That's got to be a safety car. That's a safety car. Mitch, get in the pits, mate. Get on some lovely new tyres. What are you doing? Fresh medium, surely. It's got to be. Has to be fresh mediums for the Ferrari. Jordan could go in as well, fresh mediums too. As David had a yellow rear wing, which he suggested contributed to the masses of his car being destructed. But yeah, the front three all need to pit. If they don't pit, then they're screwed. I'll tell you that now. As everyone else is swapping to fresh tyres, I think the mediums are better here. Softs are pretty meh at this track. Not a fan of them. Ivanek stays out. I mean, I guess he can, to be fair. Mitch is in. And he's going to maintain P3 anyways. So, Vanic's going to lead the race over Jordan Kent. And there's going to be a 2-car buffer from Ivanek to his nearest challenger. There's going to be another car buffer back to Mitch. And there's going to be another car buffer back to Herbert. So, everyone's very separated here, to be fair. Wasn't even the damaged rear wing that did it. It was the curb. That curb is lethal, yeah, you are right. So, Ivanik's going to lead the way, 4-lap alt mediums, then you've got Kent and Snape on fresh mediums just behind. Herbert, Varga and Co have all pitted a lap earlier, so their tyres are going to be slightly more worn, which isn't really going to give Kent and Snape much of an advantage. Well, not as much as what they'll have over Ivanek, but, you know, it's still something. I don't think everyone's going to catch before the safety car goes in here, I'm not going to lie. As Lapage bolts into the pit lane, which releases Snape onto the back of Kent here as well. Well, this could be an interesting fight between those two after the restart. David's rooting for Mitch in this one. And we're gonna have how many cars on the lead lap? 11. I don't. Is two Avila gonna catch? I'm not sure. A lot of drivers haven't pitted as well. Like Bakalik Danewood's pretty screwed for any sort of result in this race, I'll be honest. Two Avila and Fraz have a chance if they can dispatch of the 3 cars in front. But yeah, Bakalik, Kopodolowski. Loibinov doesn't have penalty, same with Kopodolowski to be fair, so they have to finish under Bakalik, but the fresh tyres are just going to make it so difficult for them to compete, I can't lie. I don't know when the safety car's in, I think it's in next lap. Actually, so yeah, two Avila will catch. Just about. No, not just about. He'll catch by about turn 4 next lap, I'd say. Locks up a bit there. Oh, Kent take the race! What? What's happened to... What's just happened? Kent's just been taken out. Or something. What is going on? He's been taken out by a lap car, apparently, of Bjorn. And that probably explains why Mitch is leaving about a 20-minute gap up the road to him. I wouldn't even go as close as Mitch is now. Stay back, Mitch. As the safety car is in this lap. Right, well, we are restarting here. That's just horrible. That's going to be a massive penalty, I'll tell you that. By massive, I mean massive. Because you are responsible for anything your AI does. That is brake checking, parking it on the racing line, destroying another car, all of that in one, as we are going to restart here. This is going to be chaos, I have a feeling. Can Ivanek go? He's going at the final corner. That is probably the safest thing, as Mitch just needs to get past that AI car. He's ghosted luckily now, so he's not going to get taken out. We don't need multiple people getting taken out by an AI car. As we are off and racing then, Varga immediately trying to get a move on Herbert here in the Mercedes. As he's going to go down the inside. Gets the car stopped and turned in very nicely there. Fair play to Varga for that move. Soft's obviously providing some very nice grip there to help him out. As Loibanov is going to try a potential dive. Nah, thinks better of it. Smart decision. Who turns up to a league race to drive in AI mode and change gear? I don't even know, man, honestly. I don't understand. This is a spinner. That is Belak, who is a lap down, I believe. As Varga is trying to put the pressure on Mitch, who has dropped from Ivanek at the front. At the moment, Varga getting a bit waywards on the exit of turn 1 there, shall we say. And he's used his whole battery, essentially. Not ideal when you need to make an overtake, I'll be honest. And he's not going to be close enough to get past Mitch either. Yeah. So he's just going to have to settle in P3 for now. Might be able to make a move with DRS when it is enabled, but for now he's not going to be able to get past. There's carnage going on back here, it seems. With running ghost cars and everything getting involved. Gosh. Let's just focus on this fight, because it's less likely to end up with someone dead in a wall. Mitch is going to head this little DRS train here. As Varga again not comfortable with turn 1, and that's going to invite Herbert. He's going to stick the battery on, and he's going to have the DRS. This can only end well. Varga, oh, they're both braking late. Herbert's off the track, and he's going to rejoin with Clapper just behind there, and everyone getting a bit aggressive here, shall we say. Right, Mitch is going to be terrified seeing this in his rear view. And he wants to probably just get the hell out of there right now. He wants nothing to do with what's going on behind him. And if he gets the battery on, he probably can get away, to be fair to him. What is going on here? Oh my, that's an interesting attempt at an overtake. Is Varga going to be a bit more comfortable with turn 1 this time? No, it goes a bit deep again. And that's helping out Mitch, certainly, as well. I'm sure we're going to see some sort of heroic... Oh, Clapper's binned it into the wall. As we are on lap 32 here of this race. And the front two looking fairly comfortable where they are right now. They just need to keep it in the track limits and on the track. Mitch had to compromise himself a little bit to do that then, but if he has to do that just to stay in the track limits, it's not going to cost him too much. I felt like Varga's softs are maybe not providing him with the grip he wants. Herbert's getting very aggressive on the back of Varga, who's going to put the battery on and have DRS. He's dragging himself close to the Ferrari of Mitch now. He might try and move after this braking zone, but he goes deep. And Mitch also makes a bit of a mistake as well, but I think he's got just enough of a gap to defend the position. As we're going to have 3 laps left in this race. There's a spinner of Lapidge who's a lap down. There's another spinner of Rasmussen who's also a lap down, as Herbert's getting very aggressive on the back of Varga here. This could very much end interestingly between these two. They just need to give each other space and play nicely, as that's a good exit from Herbert, and Varga's not going to fight him. Oh no, he is. He's going to go around the outside, and he's going to have DRS. Ooh, this could be interesting. As Mitch has almost got into the DRS of Ivanek at the front. He has got into the DRS of Ivanek at the front. I think he's going to have it next lap, potentially. Which is going to give him 2 laps to attack the Aston Martin. But he's going to have Herbert putting on the pressure behind for him to do so. Mitch has just lagged. And that's awful. What's just happened there? And from a potential race-winning position, Mitch has just been teleported down to P4 from a potential race win, shall we say. Because, well, he was going to just get into the DRS of Ivanek, and Ivanek was flashing and Mitch had battery to spend. Guardian Angels have been bloody whipped out there. We've just been robbed of an end to this race that could have been absolutely amazing by the game being just shit. The game is just shit. %, that was like the most pathetic minor screen freeze in the world, and it's done that to him. 100%, I'm telling you that now. It was 100% the most minor screen freeze that means absolutely nothing that's done that to him. I'll tell you that now, probably. Or something stupid that the game's forced him to have and just completely thrown away. Well, what we could have saw a good fight. But instead, we now have Ivanek, who's fair play to him, he deserves to win the race, but yeah, we could have seen a great fight. Hopefully Mitch's game doesn't launch him any further down, or does that just be catastrophic? Mitch is getting aggressive now, he's going on the attack, he don't give two. He doesn't give one at all. He wants a position on track, and he's going to go for it. He doesn't need to do this, but he's just him probably technically proving a point at this point. He's going to go right on the inside curb, and he's going to just back out there and not take himself out of the race at the last second. Bakalik isn't going to dive this. Might dive that though. No, he's not going to. As Ivanek is going to win this race, Herbert gets second after dodgy game antics. Which, I mean, I can't give the position back, but I'd love to. Ugh. Get rid of this track. In my opinion, it's rubbish. Every single bit of racing that we could have had got completely robbed from us. Oh, here's your finishing order. Here's your race director. Yeah. Thank you all for watching.